No, thank you very much. Having greeted
Recording in
everybody,
progress.
we will move on to look at the agenda. Are we happy with the agenda? Any changes? Any amendments? None. Thank you very much. Can we have someone move for adoption of the agenda?
Chairperson PP moves for the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you very much.
Honorable
And the
Bartlett,
seconder?
second, Chair. Bartlett, second.
Bartlett, seconds. Thank you very much. We'll then proceed. Let's look at apologies. Advocate Pindela?
Chair, I have the apology of Deputy Chairperson and the apology of Dr. Koran.
No, thank you very much. Any other apology? No. Thank you very much. Let's note the apologies. Move to item 3. Having gone through that, let's look at item 4. Consideration of the minutes of the meeting dated the 25th of August, 2022. I'm sure we have copies of the minutes. We'll therefore start on page 1. We'll start with corrections first. And having done corrections, we'll then move on to the adoption. Let's start looking. Yes, Madam. We'll start with corrections first.
Chairperson.
Page 1. Yes, Honorable
Chair.
Bossi.
Good morning. Yes, good. Yes, Chairperson. Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning to your good self and all members present in the meeting. Chair, I want to make correction there. Actually, my name is omitted. I was part of the meeting. I don't see my name in the attendance or the presentees of the members that were there. Thank you.
Yeah. The only person who can really assist us there is Pindela. Advocate Pindela?
We will correct the minutes, Chair.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Let's have corrections on page 1. Corrections on page 1. No, no corrections. Page 2. Page 3. Any corrections on page 3? Report on select committee business and report on legislation before the NCOP. Page 5. Parliament's legislative program. Page 6, which is the last page. Thank you very much. Having gone through the minutes and having made a correction or two, is there a mover for adoption of these minutes?
PP moves, Chairperson, for the adoption of the minutes and amendments. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any second?
Mama
Bate
Rakhane,
second,
second, Honorable Chairperson.
Mama Rakhane,
Mama
second.
Rakhane.
Mama Rakhane, thank you very much. So there we are.
Modernization on rail infrastructure in South Africa. That is in terms of the debate for today in the afternoon at 2 o'clock. Then tomorrow, we will at Friday, the 9th of September, we will have a PGIR. And then from next week, Chairperson, from the 13th to the 14th and the 15th will be local government week. The local government week theme is advancing our collective effort to enhance oversight and accountability in the local sphere of government. And that is the theme of the local government week for next week. If there's any, I don't know, advocate, if there's anything around the program, I think it's being sent out to the members or will be sent out to the members. And next week also, Chairperson, just to take note that the committees, the times for the committees will be at 6 o'clock, so that there is no being clashes between the local government week as it will be hybrid, and committees that will also take place next week. So we just want to take note of that, Chair. And then on the 15th of September will be the debate on the local government week. We'll have caucus in the morning, and we will have a plenary in the afternoon, which will be the debate on local government week. Then Chairperson, on the 16th of September will be PGIR and joint committees, PGIR, and then we'll have a women's charter, a report back Eastern Cape Province, which will be Buffalo City. Then on the 19th of September will be a women's charter report back Eastern Cape Province, which will be Sarah Bartman. Then on the 20th of September will be policy implementation and legislative review summit. That will be the 20th. And then the 21st, that summit will start at 10, Chairperson. And the 21st will be provincial whips forum. And also we'll have to continue with the policy implementation summit will continue. And on the 22nd of September, we'll have another programming where we'll be presenting the full term for the fourth term on the 22nd of September, and which will follow by a caucus. And then in the afternoon, we'll have a plenary, which will be, we'll have two consideration of the financial sector and deposit insurance levies bill. So those two bills will be, and also a debate on the indigent support subsidization of basic services. So that will be the 22nd. Then on the 23rd, Chairperson, will be joint committees and MSF meeting, member support forum, and women's charter review report back Mpumalanga's province. Then Chairperson, the sector also will have in the second term, in the fourth term, we'll have on the 7th of October, we'll have another women's charter report back, which will be in the Free State. Then the constituency period for the National Council of Provinces will be on the 26th of September, 2022 to the 10th of October, 2022. That is the third term, Chair. I think we will not have a document here, Chair, but just to give highlights in terms of what will be expected in the fourth term. In the fourth term, Chair, we will be expecting questions to the President. We'll have 3 months in the fourth term, 3 months, October, November, and December, which will be questions to the President. We will also expecting cluster social service, which is 2.1, 2B, and 2C. Questions to the Deputy President. We're also expecting in the fourth term, taking Parliament to the people, which will be in KwaZulu-Natal. And then and also in the December, we'll have a joint program of the National Assembly and the NCOP. That will be in November, yes. And then in December, we'll have the consideration of the appropriation bill. Then the constituency period will be from the 5th of December, and the leave period from the 19th of December. That is just to give an idea of the fourth term, which is not for discussion for this meeting, Chair, but will be fully presented in the next programming committee. Thank you very much, Chair.
So thank you very much, Njadu. Honorable Njadu. Are there any comments? Any comments? None. Thank you very much, Honorable Njadu. I'm sure that gives us a sense of the program. As we are pointing out, that there's constituency period from the 26th of September to the 4th of October. 2022, and then the next constituency period. Let's find out if there are any other comments. Any comments? No? Going, gone. Thank you, Honorable Jadu. Let's move to item 7, report on select committee business and report on legislation before the committee. Honorable Nyambi.
Thank you, Chair. Greetings to yourself, colleagues, everybody present in the meeting. Chair, we are in the process of receiving and processing committee programs for the upcoming term. Committee meetings continue to take place as scheduled, and where changes are inevitable, alternative arrangements are made as correctly indicated by Honorable Njando, our programming whip. When it comes to intervention, Chair, the SC1 Copter is considering a total of 13 interventions, notices of interventions, progress reports, extension of interventions, closeout reports, withdrawal of interventions in terms of Section 139 and various subsections of the Constitution in 6 provinces and various municipalities. The withdrawal of interventions issued in terms of Section 139, subsection 1B of the Constitution in Maluti, Apofung, and Mafube local municipalities was finalized on the 31st of August. The aim to finish dates of the other 6 interventions were revised to later dates. When it comes to international agreements, Chair, we have a number of them. Nothing has changed compared to what was presented the last time. Safe to indicate that the Select Committee on Security and Justice have 5 international agreements before it. Petitions and executive undertakings. The Select Committee on Petitions and Executive Undertakings has 483 petitions and 23 executive undertakings, all of which are at various stages of completion. Since the last reporting period, 2 of these are waiting to be considered by the House, while 3 were considered on the 1st of September. The undertakings, they haven't changed much compared to the previous one. The first is the one of Justice and Correctional Service, Minister of Police, Minister of Social Development, Minister of Transport, Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology, Minister of Public Enterprise, Minister of Forest, Fisheries and Environment, Deputy Minister of Public Enterprise, Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. And other matters before the committees, there are 6 other matters before the Select Committee with the referral span of 2019 to 2022 as follows. We've got the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, 4 matters, and Select Committee on Finances, 2 matters. I saw table the report, and Mr. Bell will deal with the legislation. Thank you, Chairperson.
No, thank you very much. Are there any comments? Interventions, international agreements, undertakings and petitions, the bills so referred. Any comments? No comments. Thank you very much. Report noted. We'll move to item 8. Report on Parliamentary Legislative Program. Didn't we go through that? We did, but I think that's what we should be doing now is to go to Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell,
Thank you, Chairperson. As mentioned at the previous meeting, under paragraph A, items 1 and 4, the two bills sent back Performance Protection Amendment Bill and the Copyright Amendment Bill, which were returned to Parliament by the President and subsequently reclassified as Section 76, have now been passed by the National Assembly and have been submitted or transmitted to the NCOP for concurrence. I made a particular point of ensuring that all the relevant documentation was also referred to the select committee in order to make their work a bit more clear. And then yesterday, the Children's Amendment Bill was also sent to the NCOP for concurrence. Thank you, sir.
yes, no, thank you very much. Any comment on the bills?
Yes, Chairperson.
Yes, Tango.
Chairperson, have we taken into account the impact of the electoral bill, if there's any impact, and what that would mean for programming? I should have raised it there, but seeing it's brought to our attention here, I think we need to just consider the impact of that. It could be quite heavy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I guess what Honorable Dango is saying is that it may be useful to consider the bill and have some short discussion. Because this is a programming meeting. But there's no harm in getting perhaps the secretary to the NCOP to just highlight some of the key issues so that members become a bit more familiar. Of course, the issues discussed elsewhere in many relevant forums, including caucus, for instance, just give an example. But it'd be very useful if the Secretary to Parliament can just look at it. I'm sure Advocate Fidel, you'll find that interesting, won't you? Just a look.
Chairperson?
Chairperson,
Yes. You can go ahead and comment.
Chairperson?
Yes, Labuskachne.
I totally agree with Honorable Dangor and the question and the impact of that bill. I also want to take it a little bit further, Chair. If we look at the list of bills, there are, I think, 43 or 42 bills in the NA at the moment. 23 of them are Section 76 bills. We are now in September 2022. We have 1 year until next year, September, and then maybe 10 or 11 or 9 or 8 months, depending on when the elections in 2024 is going to be. Now, I've raised it previously, Chairperson. The only way that we will be able to have a handle on the amount of work that's going to go through the NCOP and prevent constitutional court cases due to the fact that we didn't have ample time to do public participation or give provinces enough time for public participation on 76 bills. Was in the past, we had a cutoff date that the presiding officers decided upon and communicated that to the NA and say, you know, by whatever time, for instance, I remember in the previous term, it was June, July, for bills to reach the NCOP to give us, according to being fair, enough time for us to go the full process on the bills, on the 76 bills. I really would like the NCOP and the presiding officers to discuss this in depth so that we can get to that point, so that that can be communicated early enough to the NA so that the NA can prioritize the bills that they want to be finalized in this term. Otherwise, I can see that the NCOP will have to be sitting until the day before elections to finalize all the bills, and then some of those bills will be taken to court, like in the 4th Parliament, because there was not enough time on public participation. Thank you.
I'm sure the points are well made there. Let's think ahead and let's try and do what the Honorable Labuskachne is asking us to do, and to really answer the questions: what amount of work in relation to bills will be done before the end of the term, and when should this be programmed, so that indeed come the cut-off dates, we clear, we don't have the confusion that usually results as the term come to an end. Any other comment?
Chairperson, Advocate was going to respond to my question.
Yes. Advocate?
Chairperson, I do not have a response to that question other than indicating that indeed we must be concerned about the processing of the electoral amendment bill, because it has a constitutional court deadline. But there's totally nothing that the National Council of Provinces can do unless the National Assembly passes that bill and transmits it to the National Council of Provinces for consideration. We are solely dependent on the National Assembly to pass that bill. Insofar as other bills are concerned, of course, the National Council of Provinces must make sure that it has sufficient time to process all those bills, particularly if those are bills affecting provinces, and ensure that if the facilitation of public involvement is going to take place through the provincial legislatures, that provincial legislatures are given sufficient time to process those bills and facilitate public involvement in the processing of those bills. We will have to have a discussion with the National Assembly and find out as to when some of these bills are intended to be finalized, so that we can plan properly together with the provincial legislatures on matters affecting provincial legislatures. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any other comments? There being no other comments, we are now moving to item 9, which is closure. So on that note, we will close the meeting. Thank you very much. Siyabulela, siyabonga.
Thanks, Chair.
Siyalebo.
Thanks, Chairperson. Siyabonga.
Siyabonga Sihlalo, siyabonga Chair.
Thank you very much.
Recording stopped.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Chair.
No, thank you very much.